Welcome to DellyMaths Concepts. I'm looking at January 2025 Csec Mathematics Solutions. All right, so let us go through. So question one says here, it says here, using a calculator or otherwise, you want to determine the value of. We have 2/3 of, in bracket, we have 1/8 plus 5/12 divided by 1/9. And we're supposed to give our answer exactly. All right, first, we're going to focus what is in the bracket. I'm not going to use a calculator. I'm just going to work it out standard way. So let us get it on. Off here will stands for a multiplication, but we're going to try to find what's inside the bracket first. Well, inside the bracket, we have the order of operation going on. So we're not going to be using the one ATS. We're going to be working with that part. So let us leave this here. So what we're going to have is 5/12, and we're going to change the division to multiplication and reciprocate the fraction at the end. So we're going to get 9/1, and we're working on that part. Mind you that this part is still outside here, and we're going to multiply this when we're done. Now let's focus on the inside part. We're dealing with this piece right there. So as you could see, we could cancel because 3 into the 9, that's 3, and 3 into the 12, that's 4. So we're still taking a look at what's going on inside. We have our 1/8 here, plus, and then we have 3/5 of 15 over 4. So this is what is coming out of the bracket part right there. So now we could, so this is still on the outside. So inside the bracket, we're adding 1/8 plus 15 over 4. I could multiply this by 2 over 2, and this is going to give me 1/8 plus 30 over 8. And that's just a way of getting the same denominator there so that we can ease our way in. So what we're going to have really is that from the bracket, I'm going to have 31 over 8, and then we're going to take 2/3 of that. As you could see, I can really cancel this 2 here into itself, 1 and 2 into the 8. That's 4 times. So what we're left with is 31 over 12, and this is good to go as an answer. So that's our first 2 marks we could pick up there. Here, what we have is 314.2, and we're gonna just put this on our calculator. So we have 26,000, and so 26,082, divide that by 51,164. It's gonna give us 0.5. So we're gonna subtract this. So basically 314.2 minus 0.5, we're getting 313.7. Mark you that we want to give our answer in standard form, and standard form must be written in this form: a times 10 raised to the n, where this is a number less than 10 but greater than or equal to 1, and n is an integer. So let's go 1, 2. So it's going to come right there, times 10 raised to 1, 2, and that's a positive 2 right there. So that's what we have for that answer there. That's another 2 marks. Quite easy 2 marks there anyways. Let's see what this is saying. All right, so the part B says Jim packed several cases of fruit juice, all right, to sell. And as you can see, each case contained 24 juice, all right, of different flavor. We have apple, we have orange, and we have pineapple. The ratio is 2 to 5 to 1, respectively. How many boxes of pineapple juice were packed? So what we have is apple, orange, and pineapple, and it's in the ratio of 2 to 5 to 1 right here. Now, if we should add these proportional parts, we're looking at a total, right? So a total of 2 plus 5 plus 1, and that's going to give us 8 proportional parts, okay? Now, if we want to know how many pineapple juice is there, let's find one part first. So we definitely understand here that these 8 parts right here is actually equal to 24. So 1 part is equal to taking that 24 and we're going to divide that by 8 and we're going to get 3. So this is actually 3 juices that would have been for 1 part. Definitely pineapple is 1 part. So then we could just respond to the question that pineapple is 1 times 3, and that's going to give us 3 pineapple juice, right? So the number of pineapples that were packed, we actually got it to be 3. So what this is suggesting in every case that they have, depending, it doesn't matter how many cases, we would have 3 in it, 3 pineapple juice. Now, the B part to the question says here, the profit gain on selling all those pineapple juice, right? So the profit gain on selling all the pineapple juice is actually $35.64. Each pineapple juice was sold at $3.34. We want to do a proof here. We want to show that the cost price is $2.35. What we have here to do is that we're going to work this out, okay? And when you work this out, we cannot use this $2.35 any at all. We're going to set up a system such that at the end of our calculation, cost price must be $2.35. All right. Now let's look on the key factors here. The profit gain from selling all back boxes. So all the boxes were sold, which would have meant that the pineapple were all in the boxes and they comes in threes. So what it means is that the pineapples that were sold in sets of threes since it's 3 of them per box. So we're saying that the number of pineapple, the number of pineapple will be in this format, in the form of 3n, where n is an integer. What do I mean? We can only sell 3 or 6 or 9 or 12 or 15 or 18, and it goes in that fashion. It goes in that fashion on and on. So why are we saying this? We're suggesting that if we're going to sell all of the boxes, then those pineapples will be in the boxes and they're selling in sets of threes. We're going to use that to solve this problem. Now, we're going to let X represent the number of, X will represent the number of pineapple juice. And we're going to let Y represent the cost for one. And it's for 1 pineapple juice. All right. Selling price, let me put it like this. My selling price minus my cost price should give my profit. This is the basis on which we're going to prove it. My selling price, though, will take on the form of this. $3.34 for 1, and then X amount were sold, because X is the number of pineapple juice that were sold. So this is the selling price minus the cost price is actually the cost for 1, which is Y, and the number of them that were sold, which is X. Take a look. So this here is selling price, and this is what it cost me. The result of that, when I subtract, I made a profit of $35.64. Now, the deal is that if you look here, when they said that the cost price is $2.30, we're going to prove that the selling is $3.34. You're seeing that we are making almost $1 on each. So what we need to do is we're going to substitute values for x because that's representing the number of pineapple juices that were sold, and it's going to help us to find the cost for one, which is y. So we have a value to go for x. It's just that we have to try values, but we already know that we can't try certain values. We're making less than $1 from selling one. So if I'm going to make 30 something dollars, I'm going to sell something in the 30s in order to achieve that. Okay. So I'm gonna actually try 36 because $35 something. So I'm gonna try 36. So $3.34 times 36. Because remember now, we're saying that we can only sell pineapple juice in sets of threes. And since we make almost $36, I'm gonna try 36 because we actually make less than $1 from one. Minus y times 36 again, and this is going to give me $35.64. Let's multiply $3.34 times 36. It's going to give me $120.24 minus 36y. This is equal to $35.64. Let's subtract $120.24 from both sides. So negative 36 is equal to I'm getting negative $84.60. So then now I'm going to prove that the cost of one is $2.35. I'm going to have to divide both sides by negative 36. Why? Remember that y is the cost for one, and I'm supposed to prove the cost for one. And if we divide this, we're actually going to get 2.35. Hence the proof. All right. So there it is. We were able to prove the cost for one. Let's move on to the next question. So it says here, calculate the percentage profit made on the sale of the pineapple juice. Remember now we sold 36. So when you sell 36, you could work it out. You just did. Let's look at the profit. The profit made was given already, and that was actually $35.64. Remember that the cost price is actually $2.35. We just proved that. That's for one. So then if we want to know the full cost that it costs us, so we're going to multiply this by 36 because we had 36 of them. So it really cost us $84.60. I'm able to work out my profit as a percentage now because percentage profit, or you could say profit percent, is equal to putting your profit over your costs and times it by 100. My profit is 35.64. They gave me that. 84.60. I came up with this times 100, and that should take us out. And I'm getting 42.1%. That was the percentage profit. And that's a good 9 marks there that you could pick up. But mark you, that question at 1B may pose a problem, but definitely you could have easier way through it. All right, let's take a look at this now. Question 2. Question 2 says, factorize the following algebraic expression. What we have here is the difference of 2 squared. So basically, x squared minus 49 is actually coming from, x squared minus 7 squared. And whenever we have the difference of 2 squared, basically we could open two parentheses, and we're going to put the square roots, which is x and 7. We're going to put a plus in one and a minus in one. Or you could have said you put a minus first and a plus after. It doesn't matter. Whichever way you do it, you would have been good. So that's an easy one there. Let's take a look at this. Well, whenever we're factorizing these, all we have to do is to open two brackets. Because the coefficient of the square is 1, we definitely know that we have x here and x there. We want factors of 35, which is 7 and 5 anyways, so that we can add them to get positive 2. That means my 7 will be positive and my 5 will be negative. So it's going to be plus 7, negative 5 for this one. This one is kind of quick and easy. Let us say you don't know how to just drop them in. You would have found them there, but you could have set it up like this: x squared plus 7x minus 5x minus 35. And then you want to factorize by grouping x. Then you're going to divide x here. You divide x there. You're going to get x plus 7. Then negative 5. You're going to divide negative 5 here. You're going to divide negative 5 here. You're going to get x plus 7. In brackets, x plus 7, x minus 5. Same thing. All right, let's take a look at this. So what they have here for us is that they said, hence, simplify this. When they said hence, it means you're forced to use what you just got. Sometimes when they say hence or otherwise, then you could come up with another way. But if you're only given hence, you're forced to use the factor form for this that we just have and this. So the factor form for this was actually x plus 7, x minus 7. All right, and that is going to be over the factor form for this. We actually had x plus 7 and we had x minus 5. So we brought them back. And then now you could see that x plus 7 cancel x plus 7. So what we're left with is x minus 7 all over x minus 5. And this is done. So that's a 1-mark question, as you could see right there. All right, let us take a look at another question. For this question, it says, rearrange the formula shown below to make M the subject. So we want to make M the subject. So I do have S, which is equal to K minus M squared. What I could do is just to make sure that my M is positive. As you could see, it's negative here, and I would love it to be positive. So I'm going to add M squared to both sides, should say, right? So this is M squared. I thought I said M before. So we're going to add M squared to both sides. So what we really have here is M squared plus S, which is equal to K. If you're wondering where we have the plus S from, this is a positive S. If you don't see a negative to the left of it, that means it was positive. And then what we're going to do now is to subtract S from both sides. So we're going to minus S. Let's rewrite what we have. M squared is equal to K minus S. In an effort to find the M, I'm going to have to take the square root of the M square. So the square root and the square will cancel, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So M is actually equal to the square root of K minus S. All right, let's keep going. For this second question, maybe the last, I'm not sure. For the C part to the question, it says, Lisa has $56 to buy a total of no more than 70 red balloons and green balloons for her party. She buys more green, so she buys more green balloons than red, but must buy at least 15 red balloons. Each red balloon costs 75 cents and each green balloon costs 50 cents. Let x represent, let x and y represents the number of red balloons and the number of green balloons respectively. So x will represent red and y will represent green. So red and green. All right, good. Now it says write two inequalities in x and y other than x is greater than 0 and y is greater than 0 to represent the information. All right, they only ask us to write two. All right, they have given us like four pieces of information here. So let us pick on one here. So one of the things that we could do is to look the total number that we must have. All right, we're not going to buy more than 70. So x plus y must be less than or equal to 70 because we not going to buy more than 70 red and green balloons. So 70 is our marker. That's one that we could come up with. Another one that we could have come up with is with the price. The red balloon costs 75 cents. So you could say 0.75 times the number of them plus the number. So the green ones cost 50 cents. 0.50 y must be less than or equal to 56. All right. So that's the second one. We're done, but we could pick out more. Right here it says she buys more green, and green is y, than red. So more. So green must be greater than the the red. So y is greater than x, right? Because green is for the y and the red is x. The last one, there's another one, number 4, that it says here that she buy at least 15 red. So red is x. So x must be greater or equal to 15. So these are 4. You only needed to write 2 out of this, right? So any 2 here, you're good to go to get full marks. The D part to the question, and I think this is the last one here. It says, given that y is inversely proportional to x minus 2, x is equal to 11 when y is equal to 9, find the value of y when x is equal to 29. Now we're doing an inverse question. So here's the idea. Y varies inversely. Whenever we have inverse, it's going to be 1 over the idea. The idea is x minus 2. So this is the reality. We're going to have to use an equal sign to solve the problems. So the proportional symbol here is gone. We're going to put an equal sign and we're going to put the constant of variation. I'm calling it k. And then we put the second variable here. So this is the formula or the equation that will be used to solve anything that relates to this question here. Now, in order to find anything, we have to know what k is because this is the constant of variation. So here's the deal. We're going to substitute x, which is equal to 11, when y is equal to 9, so that we could find a value for k to be used to solve the problem. So let us do that. So 9, so y is equal to 9. 9 is equal to k, I don't know k yet, over 11 minus 2. So 9 is equal to k over 9. In an effort to find k, I'm going to multiply both sides by 9. And as you could see, 81 is equal to 9 into 7. 1 is equal to k. So now we have a value for k. K is equal to 81. So because k is equal to 81, we could now put things into perspective. Now we want to find y when x is equal to 29. But now we do know that k is equal to 81. The formula that we generated, which says y is equal to k over x minus 2, is what we're going to use to find y. So y is equal to k, which is 81, over x, which is 29, minus 2. Y is equal to 81 over 27. And this is equal to, I believe it's 3, but I'm checking, is equal to 3. And here is the answer to the question. So there it is. That's our first two questions. January CSEC fully worked out. All right. See you next time when I'll be working out from question 3 going forward. Subscribe, like, and share this video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.